And I understand that part about the glasses fogging up. It happens here a lot too. So I was glad to see I wasn't by myself. But could you just talk a little bit about the roles that Kenneth Horsey and Austin Dotson have played for you this season?
They both have really done a fantastic job. We always talk about it. If you're not talking about them a lot in meetings, and especially after games, and everybody's got technical issues, but fundamentally they're trying to do everything Coach Lorman has asked them to do, and I thought they've really held their own, and they're giving them the reps that we need. So I've been really proud of both of them, and they've both been competing like crazy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Josh?
Eddie, we've asked about some of the young guys in the past few weeks. How nice was it to give those guys, to have an opportunity there to get some extended run in that game at Tennessee?
Yeah, it was great, to have Jaton in there and Trav, and then we've got, Michael Drennan got in there, Isaiah Cummings, and, it was just, for them to be in that environment and to go in there and it still mattered to get the reps and have some success. All of that's only going to make it better for not only the rest of this year, but for the remaining time here. It'll help them grow up and mature.
John Clay?
Eddie, when you looked at the video from Saturday, what did you like? And especially that first drive of the second half. Can you just talk about that drive and what you liked about that drive?
Well, just, going back to the first half, just because we felt like we had some things going, my bonehead deal was not good. You have to flip the formation and I couldn't see and that's not good. And I was so jacked up and ready to go. And so, that started there, and then we have a fumble. That's not that, that was a bad deal with a great drive starter. And then a third down conversion. And then, we have the drive and we drop it and we get a field goal. So we felt really good. We made some adjustments. And I guess what I loved about it is that, we didn't start fast, and that was disappointing. Had a chance to, the second series, I thought we really had a chance to get something going, but to come out at halftime and you do that and you go down and you score, and what we did the rest of that half, really wish we would have started that way, but they took the adjustments. They did what they're supposed to do. I thought we finished and strained better. And then our, first down efficiency with throwing the ball was fantastic.
Aaron?
Eddie, we've asked a lot about getting a receiver to step up to help Josh Ali out. How big was it to get Alan Daly going? And do you think he could step up to be that second wide receiver besides Ali, rather?
Yeah, I can't tell you how jacked up I was for him. Not only that, but everybody on the sidelines, they've put in a lot of time, and it was nice to see him be rewarded. He ran a great route. It was a great throw, great catch. Those are the contested catches that we're going to have to make from here on. And so to have somebody else out there that Terry feels comfortable with, you got Bryce back now. And I think all those guys feel a sense of not only urgency last week as we went into this, but, that we're getting the ball out a little bit more. And I think we got a chance. I really do.
Nick?
How much easier is it to run the football once you start completing a few passes?
It's night and day. The grind, then you try to get the third down, grind. That it's good sometimes when it's working, but it's not going to work all the time, not in this league. And so when you get those first down chunks and you can get to 2nd and 2, you can throw it again, and we got some good first down drive starters, made good decisions. We it was a good throw and catches, and just opens everything up. And so it's huge. It's huge in what we do.
John Hale?
Eddie, to build on what Aaron asked a second ago, how much are teams kind of doubling up Josh right now, and how does he avoid trying to do too much, with how important he is to you all?
Yeah, so far that hasn't been something that's really happened, where they've just come down and they've done a lurk safety or a robber safety, and we'll get some of that on third down from some teams, but not necessarily just on Josh, just based on our formation. But if that starts happening, then you alluded to it. Then somebody like AD's got to step up. Bryce Oliver, our tight ends. There's going to be somebody that's going to be in a one-on-one if that's happening, and we've got to throw and catch and make sure we get to that person.
Okay.
Hey Eddie, it looked like on the touchdown run that Chris had, Isaiah Cummings blocked his guy all the way to the back of the end zone. Just how much could he help you guys as a perimeter blocker early on?
Yeah, to get these reps right here for these guys, we took it was a long week for us. Coach Bo really got after him. He was embarrassed after the Mississippi State game, as we all were. And, we just talked about our roles and how important that perimeter blocking. If you look at our perimeter blocking in this Tennessee game compared to the Mississippi State game, it was night and day. And there was an urgency, and there was a fight, and there was technique. And, that's what we have to have every week. And so big body like Isaiah certainly can help you out there on the perimeter.
Josh.
Hey, I know they've got some new staff on their side, but the DC's still there. Are they, when you watch their film, are they doing anything different this year, or is it pretty comparable to the past few seasons?
They are doing a few things different, but same philosophy, and we see some looks from what we saw last year, and then the games that they've played this year, they are doing some things different. But I tell you, they do a great job. I tell you, they play hard. They get after you, and it will be a physical football game.
Larry.
Eddie, does winning at Tennessee add to Terry's confidence, or does he ever need anything to add to his confidence?
Well, I think it means a lot. When you're in that position, you're the quarterback. You're the one that's going to get hammered for if you don't play well, because the spotlight's on you. And he wanted to prove himself again. It seems like every week, everybody's trying to take him out. In terms of, I don't read the media stuff, but I know people are hard. But again, we talked about production. You have to produce, and he takes that to heart. And man, he came out and he managed the game really well, and his reads were phenomenal. And we put a lot of pressure on the defense there. So, I think Terry's he's a competitor, and I was just really happy for him. I was happy for our receivers and just the whole team. Defense playing their tail off. What a start, and the momentum it gave us at halftime, and nobody panicked. And I wish we'd have played that well in the first half, and that's something that we're working on with a start. We got to have a quick start.
Eddie, Nick Bolton, obviously a talented linebacker you guys are going to face. Talk about that defense, and do you think this is a game where, because of him and some of those players, you might need to throw the ball around a little bit more than you normally would?
I think the game will dictate that. I'd love to be balanced like we were here, keep them, to me, that's what happens. Offense, defense, who dictates what, we have to dictate it by first down efficiency, keeping them off balanced, throwing it a few times in a row, and then being able to get to what we do is grind a little bit. And then the play action pass is phenomenal when we're running it. When we're not running it very well and you got to get into a drop back game, it's not so good. So you really want to be able to have the ability to have play action pass, and that's usually really good when we're running the ball. So we got to be great up front. And then, if the game dictates that we may have to throw it a little bit more because we're not running it, then we will.
And then real quick, what kind of player is Bolton?
Man, I tell you, he's all over the field. He just seems to be around every single play. He plays really, really fast.
Jeff.
Yeah, Eddie, I'm wondering, as a guy who is usually trying to break down opposing defenses and looking at what they're doing, what are just your impressions of what your guys D is doing right now from your position? They're kind of looking at these last two games.
Our defense?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, they've given up, I think, 7 points. Is that right? In 2 games, and it seems like about 55 interceptions, and the turnovers are incredible. The field position for us, they score twice. It's amazing. It really is the job that they have done, and they're fun to be around. Their excitement, their energy, and so yeah, they're doing a heck of a job.
Is there anything as a follow-up that your guys can kind of feed off that kind of energy that they're creating?
Yeah, I think they did. They fed off it in that second half. We had the one drive, we had to kick a field goal, and I wish we wouldn't have kicked a field goal. We would have scored there. We would have had a chance. You don't put the ball on the ground. You're at the 50-yard line. I think if Josh stays vertical, they're in a 0 blitz, and we've got a nice screen called, and he's just got to split that. But I think our kids did feed off that energy, in the second half, and some guys stepped up in the locker room, and they are feeding off it. There's no doubt about it.
Right, we got 2 more. John Clay.
Eddie, how do you feel about your tight ends right now?
You know what? I think that you hate to see that anybody that drops a ball. I think they're really. You look at the way we ran the ball; they're a big part of it. And so, in that part, they're getting better every day. And they're frustrated. Keaton was frustrated that he didn't pull that one in. But he came back and made another nice catch and didn't get his head down. And it's going to happen in this game. So I think it's consistency. I think it's consistency from the top to the bottom, though, at every position. We stay consistent. We've got to put 60 minutes together. None of this first half, second half stuff. That's got to end now. And so that'll be the big urgency for us is be more consistent. And whether it's throwing, catching, blocking, our technique and fundamentals, that's what football is.
All right, we'll wrap up with Kent Spencer.
Yeah, Eddie, if you already talked about this, I apologize. But Chris had a run in the second half where it seemed like he just kind of paused and was patient with the blocking and then was able to break one for 25, 30 yards. You also see him at times, he can really hit the hole. Patience with running backs or knowing when to go, knowing when to woe, is that something that you teach or is that just kind of an instinct that a running back has to have, given it's the heat of the battle?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both because that vision is so important. When we're on combo blocks and we're working up, if they can be patient with those combo blocks and you get a defensive lineman that peaks or a linebacker that peaks and the more patient they can be on the combo, then, they can rip through that thing. And Chris does a really nice job of that. And he did. He was patient. He paused on that one, made a little jump cut. Then he accelerated through. And what I liked his yards after contact. He dropped his shoulder a couple of times, went near leg, near shoulder, and that was really fun to watch. But his patience and I think that vision is something that you can't teach. But as long as he knows where the combos are and what he's trying to do and what our O-line are trying to do, as he gets better at that, he'll be a better running back.